I can't believe it's been 9 years since No Man's Sky came out, and somehow to this day, Hello Games is still pumping out free content every few months, every year. In fact, if they were to drop a paid DLC right now, I would not be mad about paying full price for it. In fact, when Light No Fire comes out, which is their next game, I will literally buy it for my whole family and all of my friends just to show some of the support and appreciation for what I've done. But in the meantime, today is a day of celebration because we got a brand new update via Expedition number 20 called Breach. This adds many things: new Atlas corvettes, cool new shipbuilding parts, a new expedition obviously, and many more things we're gonna check out in this video. So without further ado, let's dive right in. That being said, one of the first things that immediately jumps is the fact that they added a lot of cool new ship parts. This was literally one of the biggest things we wanted in Corvette update, while Breach actually expands upon that. And one of the key highlights here is that they don't just add new random parts, there are Atlas themed parts as well, as you will literally see from some of these shots over here, mainly related to the brand new Breach expedition, so you will want to take part in it. However, there are other ways to acquire some of these parts, one of which is via these new ship wreckages that we can salvage out into the open space. Our update for Halloween is called Breach, and it leans into the thrill of custom ship assembly, spacewalking, skydiving, and community spirit introduced in Voyagers. It is free to download today for existing players, and it goes in a little bit more detail over here. So, Breach Expedition, players will travel to a desolate and abandoned universe, and on their travels encounter the abandoned remains of ill-fated Corvette ships, all ripe for scavenging ship modules to add to your Corvette building arsenal, of which we've seen quite a few of them and how that works in action. You can just go to a spacewalk, get close to one of these wreckages, and apparently we can use our, well, multi-tool lasers to just mine those assemblies out of them. Excavating these wreckage sites will yield an array of Corvette pieces, including rare vehicle parts, which unlock a whole new range of build configurations for the more creative designers. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not one of those designers, but I'm loving the fact that I have the option to at least give my best and have a lot more parts to do so. In the meantime, among the exclusive expedition rewards, there's also a set of Atlas-themed modules for those wanting to demonstrate their allegiance to the all-seeing entity. Of course, we can see a screenshot here, plus you had quite a few shots in-game that were present in the trailer, all of which look absolutely amazing. Plus a lot of vertical parts as well, so if there's anything in mind that you had that you couldn't necessarily build before, chances are that you're likely going to be much closer to that design now. But the jewel in the crown of these wreckages is the fireship Arcadia, the fate of which you will learn as you venture through the breach. But you will have to face your fears and make a leap of faith into the black as you spacewalk through these eerie systems to glean their unique remnants. And I believe this is the one that we see, but yeah, you're gonna probably see a much better version of it in-game once you get to play with it. The spooky Breach expedition embraces the darker side of the universe and will also lure the bravest travelers towards the ominous and exotic Purple Star solar system, which players first glimpsed in Worlds Part 2 back in January. The planets in these systems are particularly foreboding with their deep, abyssal oceans, unearthly entities, and the notoriously imposing and volatile gas giants. So it seems that one of these gas giants is also going to be part of this. The Breach expedition, in fact, begins today and will run for approximately 3 weeks. And we've, of course, known that purple systems are some of the best at getting super unique looking planets. So if you happen to find one that Hello Games put in this expedition, set up a teleporter there, or at least one of your base computers, so that you can always travel back to it in case you want to set up a base in a very cool looking spot. Like pretty much every single expedition until now had at least 1 or 2 very cool planets along the journey that was really worth setting up a base for. Now, in the far reaches of the deep space, wreckage corvettes can now be encountered and salvaged. Step into zero gravity to explore these hollow hulks and equip your multi-tool laser to dismantle their valuable modules. Then repurpose the scrap to build your dream ship at a Corvette workshop. Interestingly enough, they've also added wedge-shaped modules. These were highly requested, and I believe we can see a couple of them over here in these shots. Specifically, this rounder one is likely going to make shipbuilding like the Millennium Falcon a lot easier as a result. That was one of the more difficult to build with the parts we had available, but I'm seeing quite a few new jet modules, quite a few new like offensive modules like turrets and rocket launchers. So there are many options, plus of course what I believe to be a shield module there right at the beginning, and many more other outer hull or exterior modules that look really great. Possibly a landing mechanic as well, or a landing mechanism from the looks of it, which all seem really impressive. So now you can really go crazy with the type of ship customization you can achieve. Now in terms of the quality of life, they do have quite a few changes as shown in this screen. So in addition to the bundles of fixes, improvements and new features, on one side snapping is greatly improved, collisions are more robust, and the Corvette workshop now gives us the chance to actually apply color palettes to the whole Corvette rather than individual piece by piece. So in this case we can see apply to the entire Corvette as an extra button, which is actually pretty nice. We can also see some of those expedition rewards further down the page, like the Aeron cowling and the diffuser, like triangle shaped here, so it's likely going to make things easier. Like hull plates add a bold angular appearance to your Corvette silhouette. Also the wings of the Aeron, which kind of looks similar to the ones already in game, but a little bit cooler, so maybe we can design a better Normandy with this. We're gonna wait and see, obviously. The power shield, which is basically having your own Atlas at the top of your, obviously, your ship in this case, so maybe even like a couple of them, since you can place multiple of them at the same time. We also have the Aeron winglets, the pillar and the pyramid, which you can see in this shot. So these can be fixed on the Corvette exteriors, furthering the ship's devotion to the Crimson entity. Obviously many triangular or angular parts which are reminiscent of the Atlas's shape, obviously, as an entity. But one that's most impressive, since we're going to talk about aesthetics, is the Starship trail. The Aeron exhaust trail here just looks really freaking cool. It's basically another recoloring with a bit of extra electricity slash effects, but it's still looking really cool compared to the one we got in the Corvette Expedition, which was blue. On top of this, we also got the drive and the blade. This is how they look like in game. Obviously, if you want to go fully dedicated on that build, it's likely something you're going to want to focus on, going fully crazy with the expedition and finishing it in those 3 weeks. No news so far on Light, no Fire, there's no launch date as far as I can see. Yeah, they still just prompted us to wishlist it on Steam, which I highly recommend you do. Like, this game is probably going to be crazy when it comes out. But we do have a bunch of other bug fixes here at the bottom we're gonna check out really quickly. So the ones that are most noteworthy, they did fix many of the problems that got you ejected out into the space, especially with the internal stairs. A lot of other like stair fixes in there in VR and whatnot. Also, like the current flight path autopilot being auto-cancelled for some reason seems to be a reoccurring one that also got fixed in this update or will be fixed. Many weapon misalignment issues with your crosshair, like having them off center or just not shooting in the proper direction. Plus many other issues with the scale of the Corvette not appearing properly, and with some of the interior modules either not being under the correct category or outright just blocking you access, like some of the door problems and whatnot. They seem to be addressed in this patch as well. Hopefully not the one that messes the water physics, because I just love that. But yeah, let me know in the comments if there's any other bug here that was not listed but you wished it was fixed. This is pretty much it. Let me know in the comments what you think about the update, and I'll see you guys in the next video.